आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज।
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you all a podcast series on STEM popularization. That is science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine. Supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, the Government of India. Program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Farzeen Sultan.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज, की आवाज।
हम अक्सर देखते हैं कि कुछ तत्व या मटेरियल्स बेहद लचीले होते हैं और बहुत अधिक तनाव को भी झेल जाते हैं। वहीं दूसरी ओर कुछ ऐसे भी तत्व हैं जो बहुत अधिक दबाव को नहीं सहन कर पाते। यही समझने के लिए हमें ज़रूरत स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल्स के बारे में जानने की है। ये एक ऐसा विषय है जो विभिन्न सामग्रियों की ताकत, कठोरता और लचीलेपन का अध्ययन करता है। ये समझना कि सामग्रियाँ कैसे तनाव, दबाव और अन्य बलों के तहत व्यवहार करती है, इंजीनियरों के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है जो सुरक्षित, टिकाऊ और कुशल संरचनाएं डिज़ाइन करना चाहते हैं। स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल्स में कई महत्वपूर्ण अवधारणाएं शामिल हैं, जिनमें शामिल है तनाव, दबाव, कठोरता, लचीलापन। स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल्स के सिद्धांतों का उपयोग विभिन्न प्रकार की संरचनाओं को डिज़ाइन करने के लिए किया जा सकता है, जैसे भवन, इमारतों की संरचनात्मक अखंडता सुनिश्चित करने के लिए, पुलों के वजन और भार का समर्थन करने के लिए, ऑटोमोबाइल के सुरक्षित और टिकाऊ होने के लिए। स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल एक व्यापक और बहुमुखी विषय है जो इंजीनियरिंग के लगभग हर क्षेत्र में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाता है। और आज इसी विषय पर और ज़्यादा विस्तार से बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं ARCI हैदराबाद से साइंटिस्ट F, सेंटर फॉर इंजीनियर्ड कोटिंग में कार्यरत डॉक्टर P सुदर्शन।
आइए जानते हैं ARCI हैदराबाद साइंटिस्ट F के तौर पर कार्यरत P सुदर्शन के बारे में।
So, my name is Sudarshan Fani. I am a scientist at the Center for Engineered Coatings. I am also heading the Advanced Nanomechanical Characterization Center, which is part of the Center for Engineered Coatings. I received my formal training in engineering from IIT Madras and a PhD degree from University of Tennessee. And I have close to 2 decades of R&D experience in building test equipment and developing new test methodologies, and also providing insights on how materials behave when you test them in very small sizes. That's in a brief.
अब जानेंगे सर की पूर्व, प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर रिसर्च के बारे में।
So as I just mentioned, the one thing that I do is measure the strength of small volumes of materials. And by small, I mean something that is in the range of 1 micrometer. So just to get you a feel for what a micrometer is, our human hair, for instance, is 100 micrometers. So 1 micrometer is 100 times less than the size of the human hair. So my study is about how materials behave when you apply some load on them at such small scale. But then you might say, why is it important? Or why is that important? Or in fact, there is even more philosophical or a broader question we can ask. Why should we measure the strength of materials? And simple answer is, for instance, let's say I want to design a bridge. I want to build a bridge. As a design engineer, there are several considerations like what load it should take and how many people will be there and all that. You put that aside. But one thing that is fundamentally required is what is the material I'm going to use and what is its inherent strength once I make a bridge out of it. Unless I know that, I won't be able to design, and even if I do, I won't be able to ascertain whether this bridge is going to stand. And this simple logic applies to not only to just bridges, it applies to automotive components, jet engine components, it applies to biomedical implants that we put. So measuring or knowing the strength of a material is an essential step in the design process. So but then, as I said, my expertise in small scale testing. So you might ask, why should we measure strength of much smaller scale? And again, the answer is, like, for instance, a decade ago, the size of the computers were larger computers, was few SFT. But then if you look at the cell phones that you're using or you carry around your pockets, they are so small that they fit your pocket, but they are more powerful than the very powerful workstation that was there, computer workstation that was there 10 years ago. So which means the size of engineering components have gone down a lot, especially over the last decade. So once your engineering components are becoming smaller and smaller, in order to, and they themselves have so many sub-components inside them. So in order to design them, you need to know how strong each of those components are, which means you have to measure the strength of those materials.
ये रिसर्च स्टेम, कॉमन मैन और पूर्ण भारत के लिए कैसे यूजफुल है, चलिए ये भी सुनते हैं.
So that, as I said, studying or knowing the strength of material is one of the fundamental aspects of mechanical design. And it pervades all the areas of engineering, as I said, right from biomedical implants to bridges to even automotive components to aerospace components. Because for instance, let's say you have an aero engine. Most of the aero engines have gas turbines and they have turbine blades. And what typically happens there is there's a lot of temperature, and that is generated because of the combustion. So the material has to withstand such high temperatures and also high rates of loading. But then you will have to design a material and test that material to ensure that that material will actually withstand those conditions. And unless you have this accelerated testing program and test protocols, the design time will be very long. So if you want to build your own engines, you want to build your own next generation coatings or next generation materials, you will have to have a very robust program that lets you test the materials before they can be deployed. So that, I feel, is a very important contribution to STEM. And the other aspect, as I just mentioned, for any small component, we don't want to be lost out in this race for miniaturization, and for any small components, and in fact India is now looking at improving the semiconductor manufacturing facilities. So which means we are looking into doing a lot of small components. You are aware a lot of companies are setting up their manufacturing plants. So all these small components need to be tested. And nobody wants your motherboard or your cell phone to fail because of any manufacturing defect. So our industry will take it up, and this is a little more futuristic. We are still not right there with the rest of the world, but we are very much in the top and very close to being there.
मटेरियल इंजीनियरिंग कैसे काम करती है और इसको पी सुदर्शन जी ने कैसे समझाया है, आइए जानते हैं.
Yeah, that's actually a very fundamental question that we always deal with in materials engineering. In the sense, you build a material, you process the material. So it's what is called as a paradigm of processing, structure and properties. That's how we look at it. So you process something, you look into the microstructural or the arrangement of atoms at a much smaller scale, because that is the building block for the property you get. As you just mentioned about this gas turbine properties of the gas turbine, while it might be a very small component of the entire engine, that is the most critical component, because that sees the highest temperatures, that is most probable to fail. And so if you are making sure that critical component does its job in terms of withstanding the service conditions, withstanding the harsh environments that the engine exhaust would have, then it will improve the efficiency of this engine, and which ultimately has so many other cascading effects. Like you improve the efficiency of engine, your emissions come down. Your emissions come down, it has impact on global warming and your entire cost of operation. So things are far reaching, but it starts from at least in our parlance, it starts from the atomic scale, right? It is a bottom up approach. You build from the tiny blocks, and atoms are the building blocks of anything that you design in terms of materials. So that's how I see it.
भारत इस शोध में कहाँ रैंक करता है, आइए जानते हैं.
In this field, we are, if you just look at sheer numbers, we are in the 7th place. The top countries being United States, China, Germany, and things like that. But we are fast catching up. We are, though I say 7th, but 4, 5, 6 are all roughly around the same level. And we are also, our rate of growth is much better than the other countries. So very soon, especially if this semiconductor thing goes. So one of the biggest users of the methods that I work on is the semiconductor industry, because smaller scale components are there mostly in the semiconductor industry. And US and China obviously have been at the forefront. So once this boom comes in the manufacturing in our own backyard, I think we will very much be toe to toe with the big players in the world.
भारतीय उद्योग इसके साथ कैसे जुड़ रहा है, इस पर पी सुदर्शन जी ने क्या कहा, अब वो सुनते हैं।
Traditionally, our industry is around steel and automotive, right? In those cases, the mechanical testing is at a much higher scale, higher being millimeters and meters. But then, recently we have been also involved in the development of the next generation advanced high-strength steels, which are really complicated steels which have a multiple alloying materials and multiple phases in them. So there, again, in order to understand how each of the small components that go into the complex steel help in the processing, we have been doing micro-scale testing on this. Ultimately, what we want is build a steel which is strong, yet less expensive and still easy to manufacture. So as a gist, I would say the steel industry is now starting to take up. Some of the commercial steel players in India have already incorporated this into the R&D, and even some of the tire manufacturers and industries like that are coming up. But as I said earlier, I'd also like to see the semiconductor industry also take this on, and I'm sure what the methods that we develop at ARCI will soon be embraced by the industry.
कार्यक्रम के अंत में जानेंगे सर के अवार्ड्स, रिकॉग्निशंस और सर ने कितने पेटेंट्स फाइल किए हैं इसके बारे में।
In and around this field, broadly, I worked on 2 areas. One is small-scale mechanical testing, and the other area is building equipment to spray metallic powders on substrates. Put together, I have close to 20 patents in these 2 areas, which include Indian patents, US, Europe, and other things. And it's been a culmination of 2 decades of work on that. In terms of publications, I have around 60 publications in international peer-reviewed journals. And in terms of the awards, I have been recently recognized as an early career scholar in material science by MRS, which is a Material Research Society based in United States, and I'm the only researcher from India to have got that award. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I really enjoyed the interaction, and I hope this benefits the common man of India at large.
उम्मीद है आपको हमारा आज का ये कार्यक्रम ज़रूर पसंद आया होगा। चलिए अब बारी है आज के साइंटिफिक फैक्ट की। टंगस्टन का गलनांक 3422 डिग्री सेल्सियस यानी 6192 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट होता है, जो किसी भी नॉन रेडियो एक्टिव धातु से सबसे अधिक है। ये इससे गर्मागर्म प्रकाश बल्बों के फिलामेंट्स और भट्टियों के हीटिंग तत्वों में उपयोग के लिए आदर्श सामग्री बनाता है। तो उम्मीद है आपको हमारा आज का ये कार्यक्रम ज़रूर पसंद आया होगा। अब हमें दीजिए अनुमति। नमस्कार।